Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Leo January 10, 2023. You have the chance to see things in new ways with the Sun and retrograde Mercury aligning in your solar 9th house today. Thoughts might turn to the past or recent decisions and plans, and your new take on a situation is helpful. The conversations you engage in now can be inspiring and enlightening. Education, transportation, beliefs, or publishing issues can be in stronger focus. What you read and hear about today can be invaluable for future projects or inspire new thinking and ideas that have the power to stick with you for some time to come. It can be a time to draw upon your experience and create something new or see new layers of a situation you previously overlooked. Compelling interests and ideas can emerge. A day like today can mean a total revival for your relationship. But your good mood and thirst for action shouldn't render you insensitive to the needs of your sweetheart. There is nothing worse than having a comedian around if one is in a bad mood. Therefore, you should initially figure out what is possible today in accordance with both of your moods. The only thing that is important is that it is a shared activity. Going out for a fancy dinner or cooking something yourselves, going to the movies or to the theater or playing games. Make use of your fantasy. Where could your professional journey lead? You may feel unsure of your next steps or where a venture could go when Mercury retrograde in Capricorn conjuncts the Sun in Capricorn. Ideally, you are investing in something that will be successful and financially stable in the long term. But there is something in fluctuation, such as feeling unsure of your ideas or seeing changes in your plans. If you are traveling for work, you may need to be extra careful during this conjunction. No matter what, redirection can lead to something more exciting in your career. At the same time that Mars is spending his last weekend in retrograde motion in your income sector, Venus is spending her first in your career sector. With Mars coming to a standstill in order to turn direct next week, this is allowing Venus to catch up, and as the planets of money and passion become a tighter unit, a mission to steer this new professional year in a lucrative direction and exploit untapped income potential is becoming one joint mission. It's sometimes difficult to know what we feel. Everyone is challenged by the question, "How are you?" But few people actually stop and ask themselves privately for a real answer. Begin checking in with yourself on a daily basis. If you don't know exactly how you feel, that's okay, but just start taking the question seriously. It's very important to your health. Like anything, practice will make it easier, and you will become better able to serve your health. Your easygoing attitude may be at odds with the serious nature of this day. Spend some quiet time tonight with that special person in your life, as you may find that you are able to connect in a deep way. You might feel the desire to commit yourself more deeply to this relationship. Be sure to explore this with your significant other, as they may have been contemplating the same thing. Express yourself as clearly and thoroughly as you are able. In a case of perfect timing, the Sun and Mercury have not only aligned in an adventurous part of your chart over the weekend but the first full weekend of 2023. Both are challenging you to make this more than just a fleeting chance to embrace a sense of wanderlust, curiosity, and adventure, and instead get serious about turning your bucket list for the coming year into a game plan and resolutions. Already pressure from the past full moon is challenging old excuses. With no planetary activity in your communication sector, the final hours of the moon's first visit for the year are making this a day for wearing your heart on your sleeve. It was the past full moon and a bit of pressure from the Sun that has helped to push through any communication barriers, with your relationships already benefiting from this. Our eyes in the sky. Mercury retrograde in Capricorn and Uranus retrograde in Taurus unite today. Contrary to popular belief, this planetary connection can bring clarity to matters and allow us to see situations from a different perspective. The world seems larger, clearer, and lovelier when we look at it from a million miles away with no judgment. If you have news to share, now is the time to express yourself. You will be heard and seen by those you love. You may feel unusually cross or ill-tempered during this time. Emotions loom large and seem practically unmanageable. Your body seems to have a mind of its own. Cravings may feel too strong to push aside. This is perfectly natural. One useful herbal remedy for this feeling is chamomile tea. Chamomile is known as the baby remedy, for it soothes a cranky baby and restores balance after a fever. You may drink the tea or actually put tea bags in your bath. While a friendly aspect between Venus in your career sector and Mars in your income sector won't peak until tomorrow, they are already in harmony and at an important time for both. Venus is forging a path for the Sun to follow when he returns in 10 days, and that includes connecting all the dots across the income, work, and career fronts. With Mars slowing ahead of his direct turn in 4 days, as the planet of money, Venus is the perfect planet to exploit both untapped income potential and to prepare for the turnaround ahead. While the Moon is still 2 days away from its first visit to your romantic sector for the year, as it will then go on to make its first visit to your relationship sector for the year just a few days later, there are some important days coming up on both fronts. This makes today's clash between the Moon and Venus today and any work and life balance issues this might expose the right reminder at the right time. After sunup, the Leo Moon opposes Venus in Aquarius, stimulating insecurity. We feel distant from others, even if we are in a room full of people. Failing to achieve the validation we desire can cause us to showboat for attention. Naturally, this only further damages our self-confidence. The real issue now is not that others do not value us, it's that we do not value ourselves. Take the energy you would put into people-pleasing and invest it instead in the creative pursuits that bring you joy. If we make our own happiness, people will flock to us in order to be a part of it. Before noon, the Moon sextiles retrograde Mars in Gemini, helping us to cooperate with others. If we've chosen a creative pursuit to busy ourselves with during the Moon-Venus opposition, this influence will help us to sink into our passion project and achieve success in this venture. However, this aspect is not just about achieving accolades. It is about the internal gratification we attain for doing something that has merit to us. It is about being brave enough to see our efforts through despite the odds. The Moon's first visit to a fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part of your chart for the year is both some light relief after the heaviness that the full moon of the last few days brought and a chance to put its work-life balance reminders into practice. This was a full moon that will always fall at some point during the Sun's month-long visit to your career sector, and it came when this new professional year was already getting off to a good start. Following on from that, today's playful lunar vibes are another reminder that life can't be all work and no play. The Moon's first visit to your romantic sector for the year has already got off to a good start thanks to its friendly aspect to Jupiter in Aries yesterday. The Moon will also form the same aspect to the asteroid Eris, just as the warrior princess of the cosmos has come to a standstill in her final days in retrograde motion. This is highlighting the new and old doors that are open.